Siman Kof Yudal, Din Azkaras Haruach, Vegeshem Vital, Vetasif, Maschin Rem, Barach Shnia, Mashiv Ruach, Mira Geshem, Tfilas Musaf, Shnyim, Tavachin, Shalchag. We start to say Mashiv Ruach, Mira Geshem at Musaf on the last day of Sukkot, meaning on Shmini Atzeres. In Poskin, at Tfilas Musaf, Shnyim, Tafarishan, Shal Pesach, we do not stop until Musaf on the first day of Pesach. Also, in Hazkar Geshem, and Shiachris, we're not allowed to begin saying the Mashiv Ruach until the Shlich Tzibur announces it. Now, that would imply that in the Shtiver Shemini Esrei on Shmini Atzeres, you do not say Mashiv Ruach. You wait until the Shlich Tzibur says Tfilas Geshem, and only then from Mincha the Tzibur would begin to say Mashiv Ruach Mira Geshem. V'yesh Eimrim. However, there are those who say Shekodim Shemaschin Musaf before Musaf Machas Hashamish Mashiv Ruach V'cholu. The Shamish announces Mashiv Ruach. The V'chulu is important. Over here, he needs to say the words Merid Hageshem. If he doesn't say Merid Hageshem, it's not considered an announcement. Because the Mashiv Haruach you could say during the summer also. And there are even some nuschos that they do say. They say the whole year Mashiv Haruach Merid Hatal. And then they switch it. So you need to actually say the words Merid Hageshem. The Mishnah points out that the V'chulu is important here. Kadesh HaTzibur Yazkir B'Sfilasin. And then the Tzibur will remember this in the Tefillah. V'cheino again. And this is the Minhag. If someone is sick or has another enes and he's not able to daven with the tzibur, he cannot daven musaf shmini atzeres before the zman that the tzibur davens. He's not allowed to say Merid Hageshem until the shliach tzibur said it, either the announcement from the shamish or the shliach tzibur actually saying the tfilas Hageshem. I should point out, in many kilos in Eretz Yisrael, specifically, the minhag is what they say Tfilas Geshem before the Shemini Esrei. Meaning they don't say it during the Shemini Esrei, they don't make an announcement, they actually say Tfilas Geshem before the Shemini Esrei, in which case, then certainly then the Tzibur would all say it during the Shemini Esrei at Musaf. If he knows that the Shlich Tzibur has made this announcement, even if he didn't hear it, he can say Merid Hageshem. If he happened to walk out, or he knows what time the Tzibur is going to get to Musaf, so he knows the announcement's been made, so then he should say Merid Hageshem. He comes to Shul and he sees the Tzibur is davening, he should say Merid Hageshem because Avada, they said it correctly. They must have made the announcement. They said Tfilas Geshem, and he can daven with them. If he says the words Mashiv Haruach in the summer, he leaves out the words Mashiv Haruach in the winter, so he doesn't have to go back, because those words, the two words Mashiv Haruach, don't make a difference one way or the other. It's not makiv the tefillah. V'chein betal. Same thing is true about saying the words Merid Hatal. If he says Merid Hatal in the winter, he does not say it in the summer. And this is for those Nuschos that usually do say it. Ein machzir, so he does not go back. By us Ashkenazim, we don't say Tal in the summer or in the winter. We don't say Mashiv Ruach and we don't say Merid Hatal. There are those, particularly those who follow Nusach Hagra, even though they daven Nusach Ashkenaz, that they do say Merid Hatal in Eretz Yisrael. The minhag in general is like this, but most people daven Nusach Ashkenaz never say Merid Hatal. So it's not particularly relevant to say it or not say it. Yesh Oimrim Sheshliach Tzibur Pesach Lahazke B'Tfilas Musaf Yom Tov Harishon Shel Pesach. Some say, and this is going to be relevant only to Ashkenazim who do not say Merid Hatal, the Shliach Tzibur does not say Merid Hageshem in the Musaf on the first day of Pesach. That's when he says Tfilas Tal, and he no longer says Mashiv Haruach Merid Hageshem. Avala Kahal Mazkirin. But if he's davening in a shul that davens Nusach Ashkenaz, the Kahal says Merid Hageshem in the Shtiller Shemini Esrei at Musaf on the first day of Pesach. Ve'inin posken ad Mincha, because they can't stop until Mincha. Sheshamu kvar mishach tzibur shepasuk v'filas Musaf. V'cheno again, because the Gabe can't announce Merid Hatal because we don't say Merid Hatal, and the Shliach he can't announce don't say Mashiv Haruach Merid Hageshem. It's not an announcement, and it's not a coveted thing to say anyway. To stop saying the tefillah, we only say positively the new tefillah that we do say. So therefore, if he's davening it doesn't matter what nusach the person himself is davening. It matters what nusach the shul davens. Because if someone, even if he davens nusach Ashkenaz, but he goes to Sfardish shul and they announce Merid HaTal before davening, he should either say Merid HaTal or say nothing. If there's a Ashkenazi shul and they don't announce anything, then even though he davens nusach Sfard, he should say Merid HaGeshem, because that's there wasn't a hachraz and they didn't say Tfilas Tanya. However, if he says Merid HaGeshem in the summertime, Machazirin Ayisai, he has to repeat the Shemoneh Esrei. He goes back to the beginning of bracha. V'im siyim habracha. If he finished the bracha, meaning he said Baruch Atah Hashem, and he finished the bracha, he said there's a shayla over here. If he's just said the word Baruch Atah Hashem, if he could sing Amdei Nechukach and go back, or many person would say once he said the Baruch Atah Hashem, it's considered finished the bracha. Chosing Reisha Tefillah, go back to the beginning of the Shemoneh Esrei, because as we said before, the first three brachas don't contain like one bracha. Even if he's in a place that they actually need rain in the summertime, it doesn't matter. If he says Geshem in the place of Tal, or certainly by Nusach Ashkenaz where he's not supposed to say anything. It doesn't matter if he said both. Meaning saying Tal isn't a tikkun on the fact that he said Geshem wrong. Just saying Geshem is enough of a problem. However, in the winter time, if he did not say Merid HaGeshem, he needs to repeat the Shemoneh Esrei, because that's necessary to say in the winter time. This is only true though if he did not say Tal, either he's davening Nusach Ashkenaz, they never say Tal, or he's davening Nusach Sfard, but he just forgot to say Tal also. Also, if he did say Tal, then he does not repeat the Shemoneh Esrei. And that is true even if he's davening Nusach Ashkenaz. That doesn't usually say Tal, but he, whatever reason happens to Tal, there's no problem with that, and he doesn't go back. Once it happened, someone started to say Mashiv Ruach in Nusach Ashkenaz, it was wrong to say, but as long as he finishes Merid HaTal, then there's no problem, he doesn't have to go back. But when is this true? Has to repeat it. It's only true if he finished the entire bracha without saying Merid HaGeshem, and he started the next bracha. He started Atah Kadosh. Then he has to go back to the Shemoneh Esrei. If he remembered before he finished the bracha, just say the words Mashiach HaGeshem wherever he remembered it. The shayla of Hesnef Lechatchila, and now he should go back and continue from the Chaim, or just continue wherever he is up to. Even if he finished the bracha, and he remembers before he said Atah Kadosh, don't go back. Just say those words before he says the words Atah Kadosh. There's a whole discussion about how to do this properly. It should really be, at least if he could do this b'tech k'dei dibur, of saying the words Mechaya Mesa. Hagash shalosh brachas rishonos chashuvas kachas. The reason for this whole psak is that the first three brachas aren't considered like one bracha. Whenever he made any mistake that's ma'akiv in the first three brachas, he has to go back to the beginning. The same thing is true with Hamelech HaKadosh. Bein Shu Yachid, Bein Shu Tzibur. It doesn't make a difference if he's down in Bechidus or he's the Shliach Tzibur. He'll have to go back to the beginning. And even if it's necessary to be Kedusha, whenever we're talking about go back to the bracha, we made a mistake, that means he made a mistake. Literally. He did something b'mezi, he said the wrong thing, has to go back to the Shemoneh Esrei. So there's a whole discussion about maybe there are some mistakes that he would not have to go back to the beginning. In the summertime, in this topic, in his Merid HaGeshem light, as a suffix during the summertime, whether he did say Merid HaGeshem like he's supposed to or not. Within 30 days, it's considered chazak. He said the old nusach. The same thing is going to be relevant for Ashkenazim who don't say tal ever. So in a stop again, so if he's davening nusach sfarad and he makes a mistake in the winter, so what's he probably said Merid HaTal, so he was yoytze b'diavad anyway. But if he's davening nusach Ashkenaz, so if he didn't say Merid HaGeshem, he didn't say anything probably. So now he's misopek. Within 30 days he has to go back. The valley Omer Kameshar, certainly he did what he was usually doing. meaning that he probably said nothing. And after 30 days again, he would not go back, as we assume after 30 days. Again, this is when he has a suffix that he probably did it the right way, the new way. If on the first day of Pesach a person would say the bracha of Ata Gibber until Merid Hatal, now he should not start from Ata Gibber because that would contain the name of Hashem. So he should start with the phrase Mechayim Mesav Ata Rav Leishia Merid Hatal. That's what he should say. Tishim Pa'amim, and he says it 90 times. Which is the equivalent of saying 3 Shemin Esers every day for 30 days. That would mean that his chazaka is that he now is going to say Merid Hatal and not Merid HaGeshem. The same thing is true for us Ashkenazim, says Gerama. If you would say so he would be saying it without saying the words Mashavarach Min HaGeshem Shemazkinu Esakashamim V'chinim Amar B'Shmini Atzeres Tishim Amam Ata Gibber Ad Merid HaGeshem Nistapik Acher Kachim Hizgirai Loi Chazaka Shizgirai. That would be a chazaka to have said Merid HaGeshem or to have skipped Merid HaGeshem. There is a lot of discussion in the poskim about this. There's some poskim who don't like being samech on this. There are different ways that it should be done, it should not be done in the Maisa. There's shail about a suffix. There are other considerations also. The person should, the Maisa, make sure he has a shail.